Welcome back, my friends, and welcome back on Monday. Yes, Monday. What's happening? Second week on a row. Yes, today is the Monday dram, and as I mentioned in my last video when I review the Irish whiskey, the Busker, I'm gonna try every single Monday to present to you a different spirit, liqueur, vermouth, amari, or something else, liquid, okay? You may miss some Mondays, but generally the idea is to be pretty much every Monday and the following Thursday a cocktail with a brand which I present. So today it's all about brandy. Yes, today it's all about brandy, and today we talk about the Cardenal Mendoza Brandy from Jerez, from the Romate Bottega. Now, I was very lucky in 2019, just before everything go crazy in the world, to visit the Bottega in Jerez, in the Golden Triangle of wines and sherries, and of course to experience the Golden Week, which they organize every year, and it's just finished yesterday, I think. Yes, so this year I missed it, but today we're gonna talk about the Cardenal Mendoza Brandy, the new label, the new bottle, the new limited edition, and of course their lovely brandy orange liqueur as well. So sit tight and let's have a little brandy. Okay guys, so the Cardenal Mendoza is a classic sherry brandy matured for an average of 15 years in Oloroso and Pedro Xime sherry casks, and produced in Jerez, and it's known internationally. So this is the old bottle which is in front of me, and here I have the new bottle, which basically the design is not changed much, but if I compare them both, you see we have a new suit, like they like to call it, a different label, a little bit taller bottle, but the brandy inside, guys, it's not changed at all. So I'm gonna use my old bottle because it's already open. Luckily I have the new one, but at the moment I'll keep it close if you don't mind, yeah, because I still have some in the old one. The Cardenal Mendoza Classico, it's a Solera Gran Reserva brandy, okay? So Cardenal Mendoza, it's one of the biggest Soleras in Jerez. It's in the middle of the town. You're never gonna even think about it if it's a bottega there, or, you know, place where people produce brandy and sherry. And it's one of the probably top 5 brandies in the world. I hope you can find it and I hope you can try it, because let's put it this way. It's not because I was lucky to visit, which is exceptional because I had such a good time, but when it's a good brandy, it's a good brandy, okay? Let's put it this way. So that's why I want to present it to you. And as you see, I have, it's the new release, which it's a smoky version. I have a smoky and I've not opened it yet. So we're gonna open it today for the first time. Then I'm gonna give it a quick test to the liqueur, which is the Angelis liqueur, which it's made with Cardenal Mendoza Brandy and oranges from Seville. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring a special box just to show you something as well. So let's put these bottles on the side for the moment, and let's put a little bit of the classic Cardenal Mendoza. So as I mentioned, it's aged for 15 years. As you can see, the color of the brandy is just exceptional. It's do not expect to be some lighter, something kind of a color. It's a lovely dark color because it's aged in Pedro Xime and Oloroso sherry casks. Cardenal Mendoza started producing the brandy in 1877 for like a private consumption. They never went with the idea to become really one of the world's finest brandies, but because it spread the word about the finest quality of the brandy around the world, so they decide to start bottling it, and they decide to bottle it with the Cardenal Mendoza name. So the name pays homage to the first Cardenal Mendoza, Don Pedro Gonzalez de Mendoza, 1423 and 1495, a prominent historical figure in the 15th century of Spain. He was a counselor to a King Fernando II and the Queen Isabel I. He had the complete confidence of the Queen. Also, Cardenal Mendoza played a big role in supporting Columbus. So you may don't know now, but now you know. Yeah, he supports the voyage of Columbus to the Americas and the unification of Spain. Okay, so let's test this brandy first. It's a wonderful, like a plum and raisin smell on the nose. It's just unbelievable. I love this brandy. You know what I mean? It could be quite heavy for some people, which it's not used to a brandy. If you're more cognac person, it could be in the beginning a little bit heavier for you, and because it's more sweeter, let's put it, you know, in perspective, the cognac, it's usually kind of a dry. There is some sweet notes in some of the cognacs, but in general, brandy, it's more sweeter. And this one, because it's aged in a Pedro Xime and a Oloroso sherry casks, first of all, have the dark color. Second, taking from the Oloroso and especially from Pedro Xime, this dark plum and a raisins flavor. On the nose is just fantastic. So let's give it a sip, okay? Ooh, I love that brandy. It's a clean, it's elegant, it's rounded with a hint of sherry, of course, because it's in the sherry casks and the barrels. Let's put it at the barrels, okay, not cask. But on the palate, it's a beautifully balancing, like warming. It's like a warming, very long finish wine test. Raisins, definitely, like I mentioned plums, and one thing which I didn't mention, and I remember when I was in Jerez, and that was really crazy, because they give us to try sherry and a brandy directly from the barrel, yeah, which it's extreme experience, not from the bottle, from the barrel. It's just amazing. And the smell of prunes, it's unbelievable. So when you get Pedro Xime, which is around 30-35 years old sherry, you know what I mean, it's usually dessert, served for dessert. You get the idea of, you know, the sweetness and the quality inside. It's just, and this one here, because it's aged in barrels of Pedro Xime, you have this like a lovely prune, like a little tasting of the prunes. You know what I mean? It's not that prominent like in the Pedro Xime sherry. So when it's come to the pairing the brandy, I can give you a few advices, which it's been given to me by the actual people who produce the brandy, and they're 100% right, because when they do the Golden Week in Jerez, they do an event when they pair the brandy with three things. One is chocolate, the second one is coffee, and the third one is cigars. Yes, so the brandy, it's up to you which one is your guilty pleasure. You can pair fantastically with a chocolate. Make sure your chocolate is at least 60% cacao. It needs to be a good, dark, rich chocolate, okay? Not some milky things. It needs to be a real chocolate, so you can kind of pair the lovely prunes, raisins, and the kind of a fruity wine flavor coming from the brandy and the sherry vibe with a lovely dark chocolate. Also nice, good coffee, and of course, a lovely cigar for all of you who enjoy a good cigar. Now, I'm gonna have that.
De la Frontera, Sanlúcar de Barrameda, and El Puerto de Santa Maria.
Right.
Inside this triangle, we have the vineyards and the cellars. So, every time we talk about sherry wine and sherry brandy, we are talking about this triangle. That's why it's a very unique wine and brandy. And why inside this triangle? Because of the microclimate we have inside. Remember that we are here, so we need the wind coming from the east and from the west. Mm-hmm. Also, we have an ocean, Atlántico, that is refreshing the coast, okay? And then we have a river that we call Río Guadalquivir, that is coming from Jaén, Córdoba, Sevilla, and this river dies in Sanlúcar de Barrameda. So at the end, into this triangle, we have a microclimate.
I want to show you something. As I promised, I'll show you a box. Now, when we talk about a Cardenal Mendoza, here is the box. So, in this box, I have something else for you. So, apart from the classic Cardenal Mendoza, which it's obviously the 15 years, approximately 15 years aged, there's two more bottles which you can find if you look around. The first one is Cardenal Mendoza CARTA, which I don't have a full bottle, big one, but what I have in this box here, that's why I wanted to open and show you. And I'm gonna open it, there you go. So I have the CARTA here, okay? So the CARTA, it's aged around or over 25 years. And the guys from the Cardenal Mendoza call it their elegant Sherry Brandy. So this is the one which I have, a small bottle, and I'm still keeping it, and kind of I want to keep them never open. So I have the Classico, obviously, which I'm drinking regularly. Then I have the CARTA. Now the CARTA, it's aged in Oloroso sherry casks, and it's a highly appreciated brandy of Jerez, okay? It's as I mentioned, 25 years, so aged, which quite a, you know, a good drum here you have. And the next impression, it's a Cardenal Mendoza Non Plus Ultra, which is a flagship of the sherry brandies. And it's the oldest expression matured in only 38 casks in the bottega. Okay, so you have only 38 casks of this final, you know, the Non Plus Ultra bottle here. So I've seen this 38 cask. I was lucky, obviously, to be there and see them. And guess how long they're aged? Yeah. So on average, they're aged for 50 years at the Bottega Sánchez Romate. So the Sánchez Romate Bottega, it's where they produce all this wonderful brandy, and also they do some wonderful sherries. So here I have Pedro Xime and I have Amontillado. I also have Fino, Oloroso, of course. As you can see, I'm a big fan of the Bottega, and I have pretty much all of them products. But yeah, so if you look around, if you want to try something different, maybe look for the other two brandies, which is the 25 years old and the 50 years old as well. I'm pretty sure they're internationally available, so no complaints here, you can find them. I mean, I don't know, in some places in the US of A, some states may be difficult, but in general, I think they're internationally available, okay? So, let's open the new bottle. Now, this is the NEBULIS, how they call it. I've never tried it. I've just received it a few days ago, and it was perfect timing, to be honest, because I was planning to do this video with the Cardenal Mendoza, and I wanted to introduce obviously the new one, which I didn't know it's gonna be in the box, but it came in the box. So it's a limited edition. Now this is a limited production. It's a handcrafted again, like every brandy in the Solera. And also, apart from being a lovely brandy, it's for those of you who appreciate a little bit of smokiness. So let's give it a test. Oh, let's give it a test. Now, what the guy's saying from the Bottega, it's pretty much the same, you know, in the same color. It doesn't make, I don't think it's any difference in the colors, but why the Classico, it's obviously have these prunes and raisins and a lovely, like a fruity flavor. Here we talk about something a little bit different for all the people who appreciate a little bit more smooth, elegant and a smoky note. And it starts raining again. Fantastic. Welcome to the UK. Never stop raining. Yes, you can have a very kind of a, it's a very subtle nuance of smoke on the nose. Very, very nice. Just give it a sip. Oh yeah. Now it's a different, definitely. Oh, that's beautiful. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 40% ABV. 40% ABV, so it's exactly the same, but the smoke, it's absolutely fantastic. And not only on the nose, but when you drink it, the aftertaste, you have this smokiness, like no pittiness, don't make mistake. It's like a, it's not a barbecue, it's a smoke. It's like a charcoal smoke. It's fantastic. That, for our old fashions, brandy old fashions, we may do that on Thursday, yeah? Definitely. Wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Guys, as much I want to stay here and talk about too much about this wonderful brandy, one last thing I'm going to introduce to you, just because I know it's not a brandy, I know it's something, you know, which you may not try, and but for all of you who likes orange liqueurs and who are a big fan of, let's say, Grand Marnier or any other orange liqueur, you should try this, okay? The Cardenal Mendoza Angelus, it's absolutely unbelievable orange liqueur. So it's based around the Sherry Brandy, but it's made with Seville oranges, lemons, cardamom, and a clove. So you have this kind of a lovely spice, lovely citrus flavor. It's just, you know what I mean, it's strong, it's good liqueur. It's 40% ABV again, so it's not one of those which you're gonna think, oh, you know, it's kind of a light liqueur. It's a proper, okay? So it's based around the classic brandy. If I can compare it to something, which I can't, to be honest, but let's just give it some kind of a comparison, just so you kind of make your mind and understand what I'm talking about here. It's basically take the Grand Marnier, and this is the Spanish answer to the Grand Marnier, and it's absolutely ridiculously good. So there you go. I'm gonna pour a little bit. As you can see, the color is gonna be pretty much the same as the brandy because it's based on the brandy, but of course introduce some Seville oranges, cardamom, and you know, a few other herbs. It's absolutely, you know, when you have like a ripe orange and you just kind of break the peel of the orange and came this smell from the orange. It's just, and we all know the Seville oranges, they're quite popular for a sweetness and aromas. Beautiful. It's sweet, it's smooth, it's soft, it's citrusy, it's spicy, very easy to drink, just like this neat or on the rocks. It doesn't have this kick from the kind of when you drink just the brandy, but of course it's still on 40% ABV, so it's a strong, good, prominent liqueur, which is fantastic for cocktails or just to enjoy on its own like that. So yeah, so this is it, guys. This is the trio which we had today: the Cardenal Mendoza, Classico, then we have the Nebulis and the Angelus. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you're gonna try some of these brandies. Stay tuned, because on Thursday I'm gonna present cocktails with the brandies and with the orange liqueur as well. I don't know yet how many, but at least two, definitely two recipes at least, maybe three, who knows. Until then, stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, leave me a comment, ask a question, leave a suggestion, okay? Yeah, that's it pretty much from me. I'm gonna go enjoy what is left in my tasting glass and think about what I'm gonna prepare for Thursday. What is gonna be? But it's gonna be delicious, definitely. Alright guys, stay safe, take care of yourself, and if you wanna do some cocktails with brandy, make sure you find out where to get your bottle of the Cardenal Mendoza Classico. And I'll see you on Thursday with another cocktail. Until then, as always, I love you and I leave you. Bye bye.